The Premier League is finally back. The international break is over. I'm someone who usually enjoys international football, but nothing quite beats the Premier League. Two big derbies take place this weekend in the Manchester derby, Man City versus Man United, and the North London derby, Arsenal versus Spurs. And of course, I'll be predicting all the other fixtures in Gameweek 9 of the Premier League season. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. Arsenal versus Spurs, Mikel Arteta versus Antonio Conte, round 2. Last time ended in defeat for Arteta in quite embarrassing fashion. But now times have changed. Arsenal are currently top of the Premier League. Surely this won't last much longer, but you have to give it to them. They have been good so far this season. So have Spurs, to be fair. They've looked good. They've been a little sloppy in a few games. Youngmin Son had a poor start to the season, but in the last game versus Leicester, he really shut his critics up. Both these teams seem relatively similar in terms of quality, but just because the game is at the Emirates, I'm going to give the win to Arsenal, and it's going to be a 3-1 win. Gabriel Jesus will open the scoring, then Harry Kane will get one back for Spurs, then Granit Xhaka will score an absolute worldie from 30 yards. By the way, what a season Granit Xhaka is having. Mikel Arteta has turned him into an 8 and turned him into one of the best 8s in the Premier League, really turned his career around. With just a few minutes to go, Bukayo Saka will finish off the game with Arsenal third. Bournemouth versus Brentford. When Bournemouth sacked Scott Parker, everyone laughed at them, claiming it was the wrong decision, it would get them relegated. Well, it looks like it's going to work out. Gary O'Neill is yet to lose as Bournemouth manager, and when you are Bournemouth manager, that's the equivalent of winning the treble. He's won over that dressing room, and you have to respect it. Unfortunately, Brentford, and especially Ivan Toney, are going to put their joy to bed. Brentford will win this game 2-0 thanks to 2 goals from Ivan Toney, despite the fact he was called up for the England squad for the very first time, didn't play a single minute, so he'll be fresh and ready to go. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Graham Potter's first game as Chelsea manager in the Premier League. And it is a tough game. Selhurst Park is a tough place to go. Crystal Palace have been a very good side under Patrick Vieira. But ultimately, I do think Chelsea will get the job done. The players will want to fight for their new manager because they know that they aren't guaranteed a starting spot. I don't think this will be an easy game for Chelsea, but I do think they'll end up getting the job done. They'll get a 2-1 win thanks to goals from Kai Havertz and Raheem Sterling. Wilfried Zaha will pull one back with 20 minutes to go, but it just won't be enough. Fulham versus Newcastle. Some people are surprised with Fulham's good start to the Premier League season. Well, I'm not surprised because I told you that they would have a good season. I also told you Palhinha was going to be key to them staying in the Premier League. I told you he was a fantastic midfielder, and 2 months later, everyone is in love with him. And for people in the comments calling me a genius, the smartest man alive, you'd be right. I am a genius, and I'm going to predict this game right. This game is going to be a 1-1 draw thanks to goals from both teams. Strikers, Isaac has picked up a blow on international duty, so Callum Wilson would open the scoring, and then with 15 minutes to go, Mitrovic will make it 1-1. Liverpool versus Brighton. It's nearly October, and somehow Brighton are higher up in the table than Liverpool. It's a shame Adam Lallana didn't get to manage Brighton. He could have given us a cheeky 4-0 win. God knows Darwin Núñez needs it, and my fantasy team definitely needs it. Liverpool have had a few weeks off, and you know what, I've got to say, I've missed sitting at my couch shouting at 11 men that I know full well can't hear me and don't even know I exist. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Liverpool. Núñez to score once, Luis Diaz to score once, and Thiago Alcantara to score an absolute worldie. Southampton versus Everton. I was recently talking about Bella Kotchap, who made his debut for Germany last Monday. The lad's a brilliant centre-back. He's only 20, and he's going to keep getting better. Germany have never produced anyone bad. And you might think to yourself, what about Hitler? No, actually, he was born in Austria. There's your fun fact of the day. See, you learn stuff. It's an educational channel. Why not subscribe? I don't know if that was funny, but quickly moving on. Southampton will beat Everton 1-0 thanks to a goal from James Ward-Prowse. West Ham versus Wolves. At the start of the season, I predicted both of these teams to finish in the top 10. Next season, they'll be finishing in the top 10 of the Championship. Both of them have been awful. Nathan Collins misses this game through suspension because he thought he was a UFC fighter. That's a big loss for Wolves, but I still think they're going to keep a clean sheet. It's going to be a boring 0-0 draw. Don't spend your half-5 on a Saturday watching this game. Go watch it differently. Get a bit of culture, because this game will quickly send you to sleep. Manchester City versus Manchester United. Erling Haaland's first ever Manchester derby. Let's hope Scott McTominay does not go full Roy Keane. It looks like Man United are actually good at football. The solution was to take out Harry Maguire. It only took him 2 years to figure it out. Gareth Southgate is still on that problem, and it might take him a World Cup and a potential sacking for him to get the answer. You'd of course expect City to win this game. I mean, nowadays they're giving teams 2-goal leads and still managing to win by 3 goals. City are just on another level. They are absolutely fantastic. The game's also at the Etihad in the last 2 or 3 years. The record has been fairly good there. So I'm going to say the blue side of Manchester is going to pick up all 3 points in the derby, and it's going to be a 3-1 win. Erling Haaland will score 2, and then João Cancelo will bag the other. Marcus Rashford will score for Man United. Leeds versus Aston Villa. Under Jesse Marsch, Leeds have played very good football. The problem is they're not winning games. Whilst with Steven Gerrard, he's playing very dull football at Aston Villa, and well, he's not winning games. So both teams could definitely do with the 3 points, and I'm going to give the 3 points to Leeds, who are going to win this game 1-0. It's going to be an exciting game. It'll be 0-0 up until the 87th minute. Then Leeds will break on a counter-attack, and Sinaresta will finish it off to give Leeds the 3 points. Leicester versus Nottingham Forest, and it's safe to say both of these teams are completely in the mud. It's just been a terrible start to the season for both of them. Especially Leicester, who a few years ago were competing for Champions League football. They won the FA Cup. Now they're bottom of the Premier League table. You gotta feel bad for Jamie Vardy. he basically won Leicester the Premier League title. He was good in the seasons beforehand. Now he gets injured a few times, and the next time he could be back to full fitness, Leicester could well be in the Championship. I'm not quite sure how Brendan Rodgers does his job. I see Nottingham Forest fans wanting Steve Cooper out. I think that would be the wrong decision. Give him a bit more time. This game is going to be a boring 1-1 draw. James Maddison will score a nice enough free kick. Nico Williams will score a 30-yard long shot. That won't be a good goal. It'll just be one that Danny Ward completely fumbles, and it will share the points between the two clubs. So that was my Game Week 9 Premier League predictions. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. How many will I get right this week? Let me know in the comments your Premier League Game Week 9 predictions. I just want to say thank you to everyone that follows me on TikTok. We recently hit 5,000 followers. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.